Hello, good afternoon, greetings and salutations. How the hell are you? All the mandatory crap I say. I hope everything goes your way. Look at this. Look out there. Look at that mountain. Look at that mountain, guys. Look at that mountain out there. I wanted to show that to you. I wanted to tell you something important. It's important to rest. It's important to rest. It's important to just lay on the couch for a few days if you have to. Living these days takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort. You gotta rest. You gotta rest the body. Body has limitations that you don't have. But I'll be damned, the way this thing works kind of holds us to it, holds us prisoner to it. So it's important to rest it. You know, the smartphones that most everybody's using, and I was using until I found a front-lit e-ink smartphone that is in every way just as good and even better. The picture quality, of course, is going to be different, but it's not bad. It's different. And it has a huge advantage. It won't destroy your eyes. And I can tell you that because of somebody who's used this thing as much as I'd use a regular smartphone. My eyes do not hurt. The front of my head does not hurt after staring at this thing for God knows how long every day. But small steps, right? Small steps look like there might be some dogs start barking in a minute. So if there is, I'll go ahead and say I'm sorry. But breaking those habits looks small at first. That means every hour, a few times, put the phone down for a few minutes and just feel the sensations in your body. You'll learn where your chakras are. Don't flex nothing, don't itch. If it itches, itch it. If you gotta blink, blink, okay? You can close your eyes to do this. Oh man, there's a dog. That's a cute little dog. I hear you. Little Jack Russell. What you doing? You the star of the show. This is the new star. What a cute little dog. Dogs bark. That's what they do. He going home. He going home. So what rest look like? So rest can look like you put the phone down for a few minutes. I already apologize in advance for that. But rest can look like putting the phone down every few minutes, every hour or something, and just feeling the sensations in your body. You know, you just feel. You just there. You just be present. You just observing, as they say. And you just breathe and you feel pulsation in the body. That's a good way to learn where your chakras are on your body, where your energy centers are. And they all do different things. If you can get used to feeling them, they all do different things. And you'll know when they open. It'll feel like a drain. You know how you don't hear water going down a drain? You hear that? It'll feel like that. That's why they're described as little whirlpools or vortexes. You'll feel it, and you just gonna sit there, and you just gonna feel somewhere on your body is pulsating. You just feel it. You just sit there with it. I found, see your chakras there, your energy vortexes on your body, they're up your spine. They start at the coccyx, your tailbone, and they go up to the top of your head. And what you're doing is lay down. You lay down on something semi-firm and just feel. Just be there. You're just there. You're not doing nothing. You're just being attentive. You're not doing a physical action or nothing. You're just hanging out. You're just feeling your body. And you'll feel it because it contracts, expands, just like how you breathe. And when you're on a firm surface, it's kind of pushing into you and holding your body very steady. You can feel that really pronounced. You can feel it really pronounced. And you'll notice that it's always at around the same point on your body. You'll notice that it's always at the same point on your spine or on your body, maybe on the front, but it'll feel it. It'll feel the same way in pretty much the same spots. And that's a good way to locate your chakras. And if you practice this, it won't be long before you develop the ability to feel. Well, that's all right. It's not my first rodeo. You'll develop a feeling for them, and you'll be able to feel it when you're standing up, when you're walking around, whatever. Practice helps you. Makes perfect. So a good thing to do is just lay down and rest and relax. And feel that sensation. I'm gonna jump on the other side of the road where a little walking path is. I'm gonna have to do a hurricane kick to a dog if it runs up to me. I'm gonna do some Street Fighter moves on domestic animals. So guys, rest is very important. All right? You gotta rest. Your body's gotta relax. And you gotta recover from all the physical stuff you're doing. Kind of like a car. You can't drive at 100 miles an hour nonstop and never turn it off and change the oil and all that stuff. Something else, somebody asked me recently how basically to heal something inside, and I wanted to try and talk about that too. So when you got to be honest first and foremost, okay? You got to be able to accept it, and that means you don't try to change what has been and what has happened. And then you'll surrender. You surrender, and it's like you hear people say, you're holding on to that time so and so did something to you. And then they say something like, let go. And I'm going to be perfectly fair. When I heard that at first, I didn't understand what the hell that meant. How can I let go if I'm not holding something with my hands? I mean, you tell me to do something on the inside of myself. Like, I don't even know how the heart beats. And you're telling me I'm supposed to let go of something inside. Well, how the shit shack do you do that? That was how I felt about it. I didn't know how to do all that. Well, that's where a lot of your mind's eye here comes into play. It's a big thing to talk about. And suffering begins at holding on to something, and it ends when we let go. Okay, so say something bad happened to me and I forgot it happened to me. Okay? All right, so it's like a seed. That starts to take root and grow inside of me, and eventually, unknowingly, because I forgot, it starts to make me act out. It starts to make me feel bad on the inside. It starts to make me control me and all kinds of things, and alter my behaviors and all kinds of things. Now, if I sit down and when I start to feel that feeling, because it'll be like the same one, right? And I sit there with it, and then one day, I've gotten so familiar with this feeling, it's become normal. So one day I say, well, I look around and maybe everybody's all happy and I'm not. So I say, well, why are they happy and I'm not? And that's where it begins. That's seeking. And so then I've got to essentially meditate, sit still, concentrate, just observe my thoughts, my feelings, while I seek for the answer to why. And the way seeking looks is you don't do much of anything but watch, and all of a sudden you sit there long enough, it reminds you of something. You'll see the same thought, you hear the same phrase, whatever, and it'll remind you of something. It'll remind you of that time, and then you remember it, and you say, "Oh my God, is that what this is? Of course that sucked. Let it go." And maybe before you do that, sometimes that's enough. The funny thing about this is, guys, the hardware in here that we work with, it really don't know the difference in when I'm talking and somebody else is talking. That's why you can say an affirmation about how you feel, and you'll feel, a lot of the time, you'll feel that energy release and moving. It'll feel tingling, pulsing, maybe goosebumps. That's the energy releasing and the blockage dissolving. That's healing. That's part of it. And sometimes it's such a big blockage, it's held in so much of your energy, you'll instantly feel energized. You'll instantly feel refreshed because all that energy freed up. It wasn't blocked because you dissolved it. So an affirmation 100% is helpful, and it don't matter if someone else says it or you say it out loud. Because some people, they know they feel bad, they're feeling bad, but for some reason, when we say, "I feel bad," for some reason the energy moves. Reality is stranger than fiction. Truth is stranger than fiction, guys. You would think, what is this weird ass messy mystic magic this crazy man's talking about. He said, of course I know I feel bad. I feel it. I'm aware of it. Why isn't that enough? Sometimes it is, but I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of times, affirmation, I am not okay with this. There you go. It's as simple as that. The closer you get to naming the emotion accurately, the more powerful the affirmation, the better the connection, and the better it dissolves. Say somebody mugged me and brutalized me years ago. Say someone beat the dog shit out of me one time, years and years ago. And I was there, of course. But say that I didn't notice it at first, because the funny thing is, we might have been like, yeah, I mean, like I was there. So when that initial shock goes away and we become somewhat stable, if we don't heal that, if we don't go back and address that, we don't go back and heal it, relive it, be honest about it. No, I didn't like getting the shit kicked out of me. I felt weak. I felt powerless. I felt like I was terrified. If we are honest and admit that, as long as that is the truth, don't just say it, but figure out what's true to you, because it's in the beholder. When Buddha left his palace, I talked about this once before, he looked around at what he called suffering. Old people, orphans, crippled people, begging people, blind people. To him, he came to the conclusion, life is suffering. Because to him, that was suffering. But to everybody else, they never once thought about it. They just said, this is normal. This is life. Why's Buddha over there got the problem? Same thing happened with Jesus. It's funny. It's in the beholder. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. People have different sensibilities. But what we can say for an objective fact is it is in the beholder. So maybe somebody else got the same ass beating. Not that I did. Like I said, let's say example here. Say somebody else got the same ass beating, but it didn't faze them and they're okay. They just moved on. That's what I'm talking about. They may not have suffered. Say somebody else did and they suffered. Well, that other person's got a trauma. The other one don't. Maybe that has something to do with genetics. Maybe it's got something to do with upbringing. I don't know. I think genetics play a big role in it, in the hardware components of the body. And so the one who got the trauma, they have to now be honest. And to do that, sometimes there's things like pride in the way. Nobody wants to admit they got an ass whooping. Nobody wants to admit, I damn sure could not do anything about it. I was helpless and powerless at that moment. Nobody wants to do that. So what people do is they don't face themselves. And so they develop a trigger, and they start to see it outside of themselves and somebody else. Something's reminding of them. It's not pulling the memory up. Maybe they repressed it or something. But they start to something is there giving them little reminders of it. And that part that remembers it all, some people call it the subconscious. I don't know, man. But I'm just telling you. I'm telling you about this. Some people, but they start to have those feelings, and it starts to trigger them. And you can have triggers that aren't about traumas. You can associate things. You can be taught that at this, say you see something and somebody taught you that when you see that, that triggers anger. And they don't tell it to you like that. They would do this instead. They would say, oh my God, those Republicans, those Democrats, look what they're doing. They're ruining the country. And if you're a kid and you're looking at that and you're watching that behavior from, say, your parents or whatever, then you've associated that when you see that party, and what's the party got? It's got a certain color associated with it, don't it? It starts to go like this. And you've learned that that's the bad guy. Every time I see the bad guy, let me learn everything about the bad guy. Let me analyze the bad guy's behavior so I recognize it. Let me look at what they look like so I recognize it. You get triggered by it, and that emotion is triggered. And this works on like lots of things. So if you want to cure blue team bad or red team bad, or even fix blue team good or red team good, whatever, if you want to fix it, you've got to remember when the first time you learned that, you experienced it. You got to remember, oh, that was my dad, that was my mom, that was my uncle and aunt, that was my school teacher, that was blah, 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 blah. Why am I doing what they're doing? I don't want to do that. That ain't me. So that's where it begins. And it's like sometimes when you just become aware of it like that, you feel relief. That relief is resolution, or the energy blockage clearing. So the energy has moved. It's just me and my Alabama mouth. It's just like when we got to go to the bathroom. We got to go bad. So we jump on the toilet. I'll tell you this, I'd be careful you stop at some of these love truck stops. You better look for you jump on that toilet. Somebody done run in that stall and their ass exploded before it was in full contact with that damn seat. All over the walls, all over the damn seat. To let you run in there without using your eyes and your awareness, you gonna sit in shit. And so that's the first part. We gotta be aware. We gotta use our awareness, and we gotta be honest with the process. And there are some things that are objectively honest. All right? Or is there? Somebody said you can't walk on water, and everybody said that's true, and then somebody's walking on water. It's not so objectively true anymore. It's subjectively true then. But somebody calls it gravity. Somebody else might say, well, gravity is just a word. It's a reaction to how big the damn planet is compared to you that holds you in place. And even beyond that, there's some stuff happening we can't see that makes it so. And so we are, and so to stop suffering, we have got to remember. We've got to remember. And when we remember, some of these things are very vicious. Some of these things are very powerful that we're going to have to essentially relive. But we've got to relive them so they can pass. So what you got to do is you got to trigger them. You got to trigger them so that you can remember. And then you've got to watch them. Don't stop them and grab them. Just watch. Just watch. After you've watched it and you say, I remember now. Whatever you feel, you can, if it sucks, it sucks. Say, that really sucked. I did not like that. And the way I felt about them, I hated them. And maybe you grew. Maybe you made amends with them, but that was still hanging out. Maybe you don't want nothing else to do with them. It don't matter. All that matters is you're honest. And you've got to say it so you can hear it. As batshit insane as this sounds, it works. You would think, well, I know about it in here. I know it. I see it. Say it out loud. Affirm it. Not the brokey, hey, brokey budgeting debit, mock debit thing that lets you buy things that you shouldn't afford. You shouldn't even be buying on credit. Not that affirm. You affirm it. By affirming it, you acknowledge it. When you acknowledge it and you feel that energy move, and it varies. Some of these are huge, and those feel like you've been struck with a 240 volt, a 220 volt live wire. Some of them feel as gentle as a breeze blowing through a meadow. But you gotta remember honesty the whole time. And part of acceptance is not trying to stop the thought and arguing with it, ruminating with it. Not going, hey, yeah, that guy sucks. Hey, you suck. When you remember that, you say, this is bullshit. You can't touch me and shit. Believe me, don't do any of that. Don't go round and round. Don't go round and round with it. Don't ruminate with it. Take a deep breath and watch the show unfold. Then you name what you feel as you're feeling it. You feel it. And when you start this little exercise, part of you is going to want you to stop. Do not stop. Do not stop. All right? Because as uncomfortable as it is to look at, it will be over quickly. It's like the booty warrior told the newsman in the jail, when I'd see one that I liked in here in prison with me, I'd go over to him and I'd say, I likes you, I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Choice is yours. So the way that I wage spiritual warfare is that way. Be honest. Name the feeling. Feel the feeling. Relive the event. For the love of God, go. And after you've moved it, after it's moved, after that blockage dissolved and freed your life force, because that's what's holding hostage, your energy. After that, I saw another stick. Anyways, after that, You'll feel it move. Now here comes the recovery part of the healing. You may start to get urges. You may feel compelled to ruminate on it. Because there are things we cannot see. There are hardware components that are trying to survive us, trying to keep us alive. Whatever. That's not important what it is. This is. You may get the urge to bring it back up to yourself and then look at it. Well, let me analyze, let me think about it. And then you're going to get mad all over again. The only time we look at the past is to learn, is to heal. If you do that, you let it go. These things are influencing you. They are basically compelling you to live certain ways. The hard truth of life is, would it be great when someone wronged us, it turned out to be a harmless mistake, and they came up and washed our feet and apologized to us and tried to make it right? Absolutely, that would be great. But the harsh truth is most people are not going to do that. So here's your options. You can wallow in misery and you can suffer. Or you can let it go. And you can let love flow through you. You can let it go and you can be freed. You can let it go and you can be freed. Or you can hold on to it and you can suffer. You can hold on to whatever it is. You sure can. But the part of you that wants to hold on ain't even you. That's that damn amygdala. That's that fight or flight shit. That's that fight or flight nonsense. That's a fight or flight nonsense. Looking for the enemy. Looking for the danger to the life when there is no danger. You better than that to be controlled and manipulated. You better than that to live like that. Do you know how obnoxious that is, that someone would want to hold on to something for decades of their life? You can never be the best you if you've got a mountain on your back. That is a fact. You can never be the best you if you're toting a mountain around on your back. The trick is this: figuring out how to let it go inside. That's the trick, boy. That is the trick. There are so many different ways to do this on this earth because one size does not fit all. Everybody knows something. Everybody can contribute something. Jesus said something when the Gentile woman came up to him as they were walking along the path. And she said, "Lord, my daughter, please come. You can heal my daughter." And he said, "Ma'am, I was sent to the Jews. I'm here to help them." That's key, ain't it? Now, he ended up helping the woman. The woman begged, and he took compassion and mercy, and he healed her daughter. But the point is, what I'm talking about right now is he said, "I was sent to these people." There are people who are sent to different kinds of people. There are people who are sent to help people that resonate with that person. There are people who understand different groups of people better than other people. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And if you want to think of it like this, Kurt here said, "You're going to teach me yourself, Lord, or I'm not going to learn nothing." How about that? But damn it, he's sneaky. He's sneaky because he'll start putting teachers in front of you, and you don't even know you're at school. You don't even know you're learning something. And that other person, it stands to question, are they in on it? Because they'll say things to you, and it'll resonate with you. And it'll be like, this is a synchronicity. Just earlier today, I was in Elko. I'm going to show y'all this mountain. I done walked like a mile, 2 miles over here. I walked this piece of land that I was considering buying when I first got out here. But I found another one. But I digress. I was in this place called Elko earlier, washing my clothes at the laundromat. And I was washing them, and I went across the street to the store, get something to drink. And there's this old man. He came out of the store as I was going in, and he said, hey, you want to make $10? I'm like, what you watch out with some people. They like, you want to make some money, and you say yes, and you done signed up for something you didn't want to sign up for. That man to be whatever. So I was like, what you trying to give me money for? And he said, I need a ride about 2 blocks, so and so direction. And at first, you know, I'm a long way from home, you know. These folks seem all right out here in Nevada. You're just going to have to get used to the way I talk. But most of them like it. Not the point. So I said, I don't actually have a car, Mr. Hey, I'll give you a piggyback ride, you know. And I said, jump on my back. I'll tote you wherever you want to go. And he was laughing, and I was laughing. And I went in the store, and I came out. I was like, I'm going to give that man a ride if I see him. And I didn't see him at first. Then I went in the laundry mat, and I turned around. He was outside trying to ask somebody for a ride. And I said, well, let me see if this person helps this man out. I may not have to lift a finger. And they didn't. So I run outside. I said, hey, mister, you still want a ride? I'll give you a ride. He's like, I thought you didn't have a car. I thought you told me. I said, I'm a long way from home. And when you're a long way from home, you got to be a little cautious. But I said, but I can tell you're a good-spirited person, so I'm going to give you a ride. And I gave him a ride, and this man was cheering. He was happy because something was wrong with his hip. We were cutting up, then I dropped him off. And he said, I can't tell you enough I can't tell you enough. Thank you for the ride. Of course, I didn't take his money just for a trivial fact. I wasn't going to take somebody's money. Get out of here. You do good and you expect a reward. You're not doing good because you're expecting something in return. Now, if somebody offers you something, Jesus said, don't reject hospitality, but I wasn't going to take $10 from that man. You ought not impose things on your neighbors. You ought not impose, if you know somebody's struggling and they try and offer it, tell them thank you and don't take it. Tell them thank you so much, but that's all right. So he gets out and he says, man, I can't tell you, thank you so much for this ride. Thank you so much. And I said, well, you know what? Thanks for not robbing me. They're not robbing me and stealing my car. Might have had a different message to give today if old man robbed me and run off in my car. But you know, when I walked in that store after I had told him no originally, I felt the feeling that was like, it was that slightly heavy negative feeling, right? And so, and I've determined that feeling is when the soul is trying to tell you something. When God's trying to tell you something, he's trying to say, hey, you're supposed to give him a ride at this part of the story. And when I did and I let him off, I was happy I did. Because then some energy moved. And it ain't always emotional blockages the reason energy moves. Energy moves because energy moves. The spirit flows through you. Energy flows through you. We never really know why energy moves most of the time. We can only say, well, I was honest with myself, and in that second energy moved. I affirmed. I spoke an affirmation, and I felt energy move. I keep saying something important. I keep saying something important. When we talk, most of the time, it's for our ears to hear when it's flowing out. So listen to what you say. And I know people say, well, think before you speak. There's a time for that. There's a place for that. But unless you think you about to threaten somebody or some shit like that, flow. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out and learn. Listen and learn. Let it out. Listen and learn. Beginning of suffering is holding on. And the end of suffering is letting go. Now, with that said, a lot of people end up in spirituality for a lot of different reasons. But a good bit of them come this path because they couldn't, because they wanted to feel better. They wanted to heal. Maybe they tried. Listen to me. Everything has already been planned out. You have free will. But you know what? When you're supposed to be doing something, I imagine that when you get involved with God here, God's always involved with you, but when you get involved with him, you get two choices. I can sit down on the ground and I can pout and I can hold the show up and I can be like, I'm not going to do this. How long do you think you can really just sit there and do nothing in protest? Eventually, you're going to have to get up to go to the bathroom. And the time you got up off the ground to go to the bathroom to take a piss, God's done planted something in the toilet that's going to pop up out you and send you in a direction. Oh, you're going to go to the bathroom. And you're going to realize I don't have any toilet paper after you've used the bathroom. Oh, now things are happening, aren't they? Now you got to call somebody. Now you got to do something else, don't you? Before you know it, you're in Nevada, all the way from Alabama. Before you know it, you're sitting there. Oh, this person's me in another body. Before you know it, you're sitting there and you have a spiritual awakening that makes you realize that you ain't just a drop in the damn ocean. You're the whole damn raging ocean. Before you know it, you realize, oh, my whole life I've been emotional because that's the way God intended it. No, he said you'll be born on July. You'll be born as the ocean. You'll be born as the whole emotional ocean. Is it worth it, God? If you're willing and ready. You're sitting there and you say, I sure am bored. What do you want from me? You drug me out here from Nevada. You drug me out here to Nevada. I had the forest. I had all this easiness. It's that I was bored, so I turned the channel. You're the star, baby. You're the star of the show. Act well the role you got, because that's where all the honor is. You're hanging out, reading the Bible, trying to understand it from a caveman's brain, from the physical mind. Then the next, oh, he's talking to me. And then the next, that's me. Then the next, hey, come here. Hey, come here. You know your back hurts. Come here. I got something I'm going to show you. I got something I can do. And they show up and they're looking at you like you're having a come apart and you're going insane. And you kind of are, because everything inside is ending so something new can begin. And you say, look here, your back hurts. I know it does. Come here. He said, what are you going to do to my back? I said, I'm mystic. He's like, you what? I'm mystic. And they lift up the shirt, and you put your hands on their back, and you start praying. You start praying about the time the woman reached out and grabbed Jesus' robes on the street. And he looked back and said, who touched me? And the woman sprung back. And the woman in terror said, I just wanted to feel better. And then come Jesus' undying love and affection. No, you don't have nothing to be scared of. Your faith has made you well. Go forth and don't try to undress folks, though. Next time, just ask. With love, amen. And all of a sudden, they feel better. Not because I did a damn thing, but just because I was willing and ready. And I'm telling you that to encourage you to say, I'm willing and ready too. Say, I don't want to sit in this pew no more. Say, I don't want to read this Bible and not understand what I'm seeing because there's something that I know there's something else in there. Say, I don't want to sit on the sidelines. I want to do your will. I will do whatever you want if you will include me. And you mean it. I don't want to sit on these damn sidelines no more. I'm tired of hearing people say, when Jesus gets here, when Jesus comes back, oh, the sick will be healed. Oh, the blind will see. Oh, the cripple will walk again. Oh, the spiritually broke, they will rise. I don't want to sit here and listen to no more of that half-hearted bullshit. And then they give you a plate and say, put some money in it. Slap that plate across the room and say that Jesus said, those who come after, they will do greater than I have. Because I said you could. Take that robe off. Get out of that cold pit. I don't have frauds and con artists serving me. It ain't about when Jesus comes back. It ain't about when Jesus is here. It's about when you say, come in here now. Come in my heart, Lord. I'm sick of watching. I'm ready to do something about it. Come inside my heart, Lord, because I'm ready to go on an adventure with you. It ain't about when he comes back at some later unknown date. It's about when you decide to strap your cross on your back. When you shoulder your cross and you die to the world and you give it all away and you set it on fire. It ain't about when he comes back. It's about when you come. When you come in his name, in his spirit you walk. That is when he comes back. It ain't about when he comes back to do it for you. It's about when you decide to do it. Who here is willing to have the faith to say that the minute I asked him in, the minute I said, Jesus, get in my heart, who's got the faith to believe they became him, that they walk as him, that they were anointed as him to get up and do thy will of thy Father in heaven? What is thy will? It seems to be we love to hear people preach in the church. We love to hear them say, do the will of God. Well, what the shit shack is that? I'll tell you. Get out there and do exactly what Jesus already told you to do. Heal the sick. Tell them the good news that the kingdom's in their midst. Put your hands on them and believe, and you'll be amazed what happens next. Lift the bread up to the sky and say, bless this bread. We've got an army to feed. We walk not by sight. We don't even walk by the power of our legs. We walk by the Spirit, in the Spirit, by the Spirit. Everything come from the Spirit. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and anybody who says that's not true, well, were you there? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you did it. I didn't know you knew. Don't you quote the dark arts. Don't you quote the holy magic at me. I was there when it was ordained, written about, and before it even happened. Do you know faith without works, without proof, without putting your money where your mouth is? Did you know that faith without works is dead? And another way to say that is, if you don't put your damn money where your mouth is, if you don't put your big drawers on, and you don't leap in faith, and you play it safe, and you hang out all day in your house, and you don't do nothing, you ain't got no faith, because you're unwilling to prove it. It's dead to you. Don't give me this shit you've memorized the Bible. Don't give me this stuff you listen to the podcasts and the TV all day long about Jesus and this and that. Great. Now do something. Walk the walk. Walk the walk. What are you waiting on? Whatever. What are you waiting on? You waiting on Jesus to come back? Well, I don't know if you got the memo, but he's already back when you said, get in my heart. When you said, come here, I want you in my heart. He don't tell you no. He don't tell you no. You might as well say, get in here, Lord. Come on with it now. Come on with it. He said, get in here. He told Peter, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of church people, they don't want to associate with anybody who ain't at the church. A lot of religious people, they don't want to go out and deal with the sinner. They don't want to go out and spend time with them. They don't want to go out and do the will of God. They don't want to associate with nobody who ain't in the same club as them. Well, I'm going to tell you, like Jesus told Peter, get your ass at that table with those Gentiles, and you will eat dinner with them. You will break bread with them. Because you saw what I did to that fig tree. So go sit down and have a good time. Or I'm going to make you have a bad time. There's a spirit running through the church too. I can't talk about it enough. And it ain't of God. It's like all the other ones. It's like all the other unclean spirits, all the negative ones. This one's called authoritarian. This one's where somebody says, I am doing God's work by bossing folks around. By going up to people, hey, I seen you was doing this and that. Tell them to shut up, because that's between you and God, and you have every right to do what you want to. Don't come over here flexing your false authority on me, spirit, because that is completely ridiculous. Don't come over here doing that, because that don't come from God, and that's not of God. That's of an ego, and there is no room for ego at the table of the King. Did you get it? Those who want to be great in the kingdom of God, you got to be the lowest servant of them all, to everyone. You have got to be the lowliest. You have got to wash the feet of all the people you see as unclean, and those who walk around and they try and lord authority over you, saying, I am being a humble servant. You are much of a servant as a politician is a servant to the people of any country. You're a viper, and you lay in the grass, and you attack people that you already realize they can't fight back at you. They can't defend themselves verbally against you because they don't know what's happening. Well, I see you. I know you. And I tell you right now, you want to walk around and let your ego tell you what to do and call the shots and move you around the board of life here? Go ahead. But you ain't even going to be near the table in the kingdom of God. You ain't even near the table, because at the table there is no room for ego. And you know how everybody else is willing to wash the feet, except for you. You'd rather tell people how to wash the feet. You gonna end up on your knees sucking the feet. Those who don't humble themselves now will be made humble. Those who walk around talking about that's not the right way. That's not what the Bible literally says. This and that. You don't do that out of a place of compassion or caring. You do that because you want control. You want authority. But you're not worth following. You are the worst kind of leader. Your kind of leader it starts with a D and ends with a R, a dictator. Your kind becomes a tyrant when they're given just a little bit. Just a little bit. You ever seen people, everybody will be an employee, there'll be one boss, for example, and there'll be this one person who they desperately want to be in charge of everybody because they want to tell them what to do. Not because they want to lead people, not because they want to help. They want to help improve the place, and they need the power to do that. Instead, they want to sit here, and they suck up to the boss and all this, and everybody's happy, and then that person gets promoted, all their ass kissing paid off, and they get promoted. Well, all of a sudden, everybody quits. They start dropping off one after another. Been working there a decade of their life or longer. And all of a sudden, they don't, I ain't working with that person. Because that person's got a spirit of authority. And it's a tongue-in-cheek remark I'm making. They have the unclean. They have the spirit of authority, Teria. And they'll destroy everything. They'll set it on fire, and they'll dance in the flames. And then they'll just go somewhere else and repeat the cycle. You don't let people like that have control of anything that you value and want to see thrive. They'll destroy it all. They'll destroy it all. Well, that's a spirit that we don't even hear described in an organization like religion, is it? That's a spirit they'll tell you all about the boogeyman. They'll tell you all about the devil this, the devil that. They'll tell you all about spirits. They don't tell you about the spirit of authoritarian. They don't tell you about the spirit of, I want to boss folks around just because I like it. They don't tell you about the one that wants to, they don't tell you about the one who says, I want power over everybody because I like telling people what to do. Oh, hell. God have mercy on the people who have to tolerate that one. I think that's all of the sunlight we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful place Nevada is. You know, it's actually like you say N-E-V, then you say A-D, and then you say A. Nevada. 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 All right. Well, guys, I hope